the area that you're working on. And remember, because this is a curet, you want to make sure that you are establishing the toe third of the instrument directly right onto the tooth at all times. You do not want that toe sticking outward to lacerate the tissue. So by adapting my toe third, I'm going to start at the distal line angle, and I'm going to go subgingivally right into the pocket. And I'm going to work my way around into the distal there. And now I am going to come across the buccal, insert at the distal line angle, making sure I have overlapping strokes and making sure that I am establishing that 70 to 80 degree angulation towards the tooth just by rocking on my fulcrum. Again, distal line angle. And making sure that you're rolling as you are approaching that line angle. And that is how you use the Columbia 4R
of the lingo aspect, where it is the hardest for most right-handed people, right here. And this is going to be a little bit different from other areas. You're going to be sitting about 10 o'clock, and you're going to be fulcruming kind of across cross arch away from the quadrant you're working on, right here. Extend your instruments long, and then look over, lean forward, so you get the direct vision. You still have a mirror. Usually you're going to have a mirror to retract the tongue, but you're going to look into the lingual surface directly. Then you're going to start from the distal surface, going to the mesial, all the way in, and then come out. You can do the distal. Make sure the terminal shank is parallel. Okay, and then distal lingual line angle. Okay, and then distal. As you're coming to more premolars, you have to change your fulcrum position more closer to the teeth. You're going to the distal, and then straight distal, up and down. Distal lingual line angle, up and down, and then lingual into interproximals. So I finished the premolars. Okay. That's mandibular right posterior teeth of the lingual aspect. Now, universal for posterior use, you have to use two cutting edges. So straight distal surface, you can start from the distal line angle and then make the terminal shank parallel and then V to the distal and go up and down like this. Okay. Then start again from the distal lingual line angle and goes towards the mesial. But now you're using the primary cutting edge, other cutting edge like this. Okay, then distal, up and down, lingual, slightly oblique, and then coming around to the mesial and vertical. Distal is vertical, terminal shank is like parallel, lingual, going interproximal, and vertical stroke again. Okay, distal lingual line angle, vertical strokes. Okay, then straight lingual to the mesial, vertical, up and down. Okay. Mirror anterior sextant, the lingual surfaces towards you for right-handed person. You're gonna be sitting at 8 o'clock using indirect vision with your mouse mirror. You're gonna be starting number 22 and then fulcruming only probably 1/2 away. You're gonna start at the midline, going into interproximal, like this. Start at the midline, going interproximal.
Now I'm going to demonstrate mandibular anterior sextant surfaces towards, but lingual surfaces, lingual aspect. So you will be around 8 o'clock position, but you're going to be fulcruming on about 1 or 2 teeth away. Usually you're going to have the mirror to reflect the light and even do the indirect vision. Starting from the midline again, and then use the primary cutting edge, and then going into interproximal. And then shank will not be parallel. Again, going from the midline and then going into proximals. Next tooth, going into interproximal and going all the way. Now, up and down, going into interproximal. The shank is again not parallel. The handle is on top of the tooth you're working on. Okay, next tooth. Going towards the proximal.
This away, you're gonna be sitting at 12 o'clock position. Start from the midline, going into the distal on number 22. Starting midline, going towards 22. The fulcrum is very close, and then keep the handle straight up and down on top of the tooth you're working on. So as you're going into the number 27, you can move yourself a little bit into your fulcrum position. Okay, going into interproximal, and then you're gonna finish up the canine. But this is only surfaces away.
Now I'm going to demonstrate mandibular anterior sextant, how to use universal Curet. It's basically you're going to sit at 12 o'clock, but you're going to see same thing. Surfaces away, surface towards. Concept is same. So start at the midline. I'm going to start surfaces away right now, but you're only using primary cutting edge, like this. Next tooth, primary cutting edge, going into interproximal, but look at the shank is not parallel at all. Okay, the next is right here. But keep eye on the handle position. Handle is always on top of the tooth you're working on. Probably you don't see it on this picture, but keep eye on your handles. Okay, this is away from you for right-handed operator. Oh, this is okay. And then right here, going into proximal.